What's up, guys? It's Migs with Market Open. A lot of you guys have actually been asking me for more lessons, and so I'm gonna mix up the two between lessons and basically the Market Open recaps. So today wasn't a very interesting day. I'm down $97. I was up in the beginning of the morning by a little bit, and then I started giving some of it back, unfortunately. So with only being down $97, I figured I'd go ahead and do a lesson. But today, instead of doing a lesson on trades that I did take, I actually want to go over a trade that I did not take. It was on my radar this morning, but I kind of just threw it off to the side because it wasn't going the way that I expected it. But this is something that I have been noticing lately that I know it's possible that a lot of people do. I just don't. I typically myself don't do it a lot. But it does make sense. So a lot of you noticed that FOSL was actually on the watch list this morning as one of the leading gappers. It was up 77% this morning. So I noticed that they did well on earnings. Fossil company, doesn't really matter. But what I ended up doing actually was I looked at the daily on it, and the daily looks okay on a 6-month. See here. So it kind of looks like it's going sideways and now it's taking off. So now this is why it's very important for you to look at the weekly. So stocks that have been on a long-term downtrend and all of a sudden spike up out of nowhere, maybe they have really good news or good earnings, just like in this case. A lot of those times, these stocks that have been on a long downtrend will actually, as soon as they open up, they'll just start selling off. Because if you think about it, there are so many investors that are underwater on this stock still, and they'll take any pop they get to sell off some of their shares so they're not underwater as much. So what I mean by that is if you look at the weekly chart, look at this thing. This thing has been on a downtrend for at least 3 years. It used to be at $100, and it's just a straight mess. So down here. So it's just straight downtrend. It's been like that for years and years and years. And now you can imagine how many investors are stuck in this thing, especially people that bought here in this area. Look at this drop. It goes from, what, like 50, 55 to 31. So you can imagine how many investors are underwater on this. And then psychologically, if you think about it, anytime that there is a big pop, you're going to use that to try and get out some of your position because you don't know when you'll get a chance to be able to get out of that. So now if we go to the 5-minute, this was actually, one of my buddies actually ended up shorting this morning. Unfortunately, he didn't give me a heads up or anything. I thought that's what friends are for, man. He didn't call me. But, so I'll put the VWAP on here. And as soon as it went off, it kind of became indecisive. But if you notice, as soon as first 15 minutes, it just picked a way to go, and then it just sold off for the rest of the day. So where could you have shorted it? You could have shorted it on the pop back here under VWAP in the 9. This probably would have been the best spot. So could have shorted it there, 1575 short with the stop over 16. And as you can see on here, it pops up to the 9, sells off. The reason why it's selling off so hard is there are so many people that are underwater on this. Now, imagine if you got in at like $50 or so, and you're sitting there and you're down 90%, and it pops up 77%. You're gonna take some of that off, so you're at least not underwater and as much. So this is probably gonna keep selling off for the rest of the day. Just some of these investors will be able to realize a smaller profit. So hopefully that makes sense to you guys. Now, just quick recap. If you have like a big gapper, make sure that you look at the daily. So just pull up the 6-month. Okay, cool. Looks like it's going sideways. But now, remember, look at the weekly real fast. Look at the weekly, and it's a terrible downtrend. And it's popping up 77%, so it's most likely going to sell off. So instead of putting it, going with the trend and putting it as a long, you should actually put it in a list of your shorts. So hopefully that makes sense to you guys. If that does, leave a comment down below and say it makes sense. All right, guys. Also, if you guys do have any questions, also put them down in the comment section below. If you guys haven't joined our Facebook group, make sure to do that. The link to that is below as well. I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.